Hello and welcome to This Week in Food. Today I'm going to talk about some foods that have been interesting and have made an impact on my palate. You'll notice that a lot of the meals that I made are Asian inspired because Asian food is one of my favorites. I think it's close to number one now. So hopefully, you'll find some dishes that inspire you and create them or create your own riffs of them. So let's get started. So the first one is not Asian. This one comes straight out of good old North America. So this is a spicy kale with bacon and Thai red chili. I have been making this dish for several years now, and it's one of my favorite comfort foods. And what I like about it is that the mixture of the garlic and the onion provide just the perfect amount of seasoning. And then the Thai red chili, you can see those little like dots there, give it just the perfect amount of spice. I love Thai red chili. I think I say that in nearly every one of my videos, but it's that good. And then the bacon gives it a heartiness that gives the meal a dimension of protein. So try it out for yourself. The way to make it is you get some garlic and some onion, and then you saute that in hot oil until the garlic is a little brown, and then you add the kale. When it's about al dente, you can then cover the saute pan and let it just steam for a while. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to add your bacon, and then you can put your Thai chili and then mix it in. Or you can also add the Thai chili at the time of steaming. All right. This next dish is called Saag with Paneer. So I've recently come into Saag. Saag is mustard greens, and mustard greens are cruciferous vegetables like spinach, kale, bok choy, cabbage, and others. And the mustard greens that are typically used in Saag are kale and spinach. I bought a can of Saag at an Indian grocery store in Queens. I seasoned it with some traditional Indian spices like cumin seeds, turmeric powder, and garam masala. Now, paneer are those chunks, those white chunks that you're seeing. It's a cheese, and this cheese stays together when you cook. So after I cooked the Saag and the seasonings, I added a can of coconut milk. That I got the idea for that from another Indian cookbook that I'm using. I'm using two cookbooks right now. One is called Authentic Indian Cuisine. The one I got the idea for the coconut was called Indish. So after I cooked the Saag with the spices, I cooked that in oil for about 10 minutes. I then added a can of coconut milk, and then I added the Saag right away, and I let that simmer for about 15 minutes. Then I paired it with some jasmine rice, and it has an amazing taste. When I ate it, I actually felt healthy. And of course, I added salt. And so salt is always for me that what do you call it? I guess the word would be that unknown, because sometimes always salt can make or break a dish. So I did add salt. I just wanted just to add that. And so if you're going to get paneer, just know it's very healthy. It reminds me a lot of tofu, and however, it's much, much more filling than tofu. And this is what the can of Saag looks like that I got. And I got it at Paneer Brothers, not Paneer Brothers. Patel Brothers in New York City, in Queens. And Patel Brothers, actually, I looked it up, is a national chain. So you can, maybe you have one near your house. All right. Now, two of the other dishes that I made, I am are also Asian inspired. So this here is called okay, hold on. Okay, so this is what I use. It's called mango ginger pickle sauce. So the dish is called mango pickle ginger chicken with rice. And I call this sauce a wonder sauce. This is a wonder sauce because it is the type of sauce that all you need is that one sauce and then your meat or your vegetables, and then you're good to go. So what I did with this was I added some honey to it to give it a level of sweetness, because it says it's pickle for a reason. So it has a pickly taste. So this is the meal that I made with ground chicken. And I also got the sauce at Patel Brothers here in New York City. And it's very simple. I added some Goya adobo seasoning. And Goya adobo is just a general purpose seasoning. And you might be saying, okay, why are you adding adobo to this sauce if it's a wonder sauce? What I have found is, if you're going to cook with a sauce that you believe, that you find to be a wonder sauce, sometimes the sauce does not get fully into the meat. So I always add some seasoning, even if it's just salt, to the meat before I add the salt, because I find that sometimes the saltiness of the sauce does not penetrate into the meat. So that's why I use the adobo. Um, so let's just get this back. Yeah. So I then cooked the ground chicken until it was completely cooked in a skillet. And then when it was fully cooked, I added the sauce. And then before I actually added the sauce, I should step back a little bit. I added some honey to the sauce to make it a little sweet, because like I said, it's kind of pickly. And then if it's still too concentrated, you could always just add some water. I didn't do that for this dish. And then I topped it off with some scallion and some cilantro. So it's definitely a happy dance food, definitely different than food I typically eat, even from Indian regular, because this is Indian, but this was just like, wow, it was a whole nother level of Indian. Okay, now this is beautiful. This is just a beautiful picture. Just looking at it, just like, I don't even, it looked like a work of art. So anyway, this is a spicy Asian spring mixed salad with edamame. So I love edamame. Edamame is basically soybeans that are still not like fully developed. And the story with this dish is that on the day that I made this, I was coming home from the gym, and there's this guy that sells fruits in my neighborhood, and he always has specials on fruit. Like, if you're ever in New York, there are these people that sell fruit on the street, and you can get the cheapest fruit possible. I mean, just ridiculous prices. And if you know, raspberries are some of the most expensive fruit. So he had a super special on raspberries, even more special than he usually has. And that's where I always get my raspberries. And if you're in New York City, look for these people to get your fruit before you go to Whole Foods or something like that. And I bought the raspberries and I came home like, what am I gonna make? So I looked at my fridge and I'm like, it just kind of, I don't even know, it just like the idea just fell in my head. I'm like, I'm totally tasting a salad with fruit and Asian inspired flavors. So to make so I put what you see here, the blackberries, the edamame, the raspberry, and then the mesclun salad. And then how I made the sauce was I got some sesame oil, some honey, soy sauce, and some Thai red chili, and mixed it all together. And then I put it on top, and it was amazing. And if you're a person that says that you don't do vegetables and fruit, you're gonna change your mind after you taste this. It's really, really good. And just edamame, just in general, is very, very filling. Like that could be a dinner. That was my lunch. Okay, so if I had that after a workout, and and I'm just like famished, you can imagine how filling that is. All right, and the last thing is this here is called the black bean garlic sauce. And I made a stir fry with this. Don't have a picture for it, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention. And this is a wonderful, highly concentrated sauce that you can add to a stir fry with vegetables or meat. So the ingredients is exactly what it says. It's crushed black beans, it's garlic sauce, it's garlic, as well as soy sauce. It's very, very concentrated. So what I do when I use this is I have to water it down because it's just so strong. And actually, that's a good thing because then you get to make the dish exactly the way you want it. And so what I did was I added some honey, good old honey, and that gave me the saltiness and the sweet that I wanted. So this is another wonder sauce. So that's this week in food. I hope you found some ideas, some inspiration, riff off of it. That's the best way to cook is to just riff and make dishes your own. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.